video, and in today's video we're going to be doing our deck guide for you guys, and I hosted the poll a few days ago, and you guys chose aliens to be your next deck guide. So thank you to all of you guys that voted. That was really nice of you, and yeah, that's gonna be today's deck guide, is aliens. And if you guys don't know what my deck guides are, pretty much I cover archetypes for the sole purpose of kind of like an introduction to them. So if you guys are new to an archetype and are trying to figure out how to really build a deck, these videos are kind of geared toward those kind of players who are new to a certain deck. So pretty much I cover the overall strategy, the staples, staple cards for said deck, and also techs for it. And then also I covered some engines and the notable extra deck options you can put in the deck as well. So yeah, let's just get right into it and cover some aliens now, shall we? So basically with the overall strategy for this deck, it's pretty self-explanatory. There are two main ones. The first one have to be the A counter focus builds, which are pretty much kind of a control-ish kind of variant. Basically with A counters, when a monster has one, they lose 3 attack and defense during damage calculation when they battle an alien monster. So if they had like two A counters, you'd be losing 600 attack and defense when they battle an alien monster. So it's kind of like a way of just weakening monsters and just being able to hit over them easier. So yeah, there's that, and it's very control heavy. You have like Gold Guard to help supplement that as well, which is great. So yeah, that's pretty much the more well-known version of the deck, where it's like the more accepted version, and a lot more people I feel play that version. You also have the synchro strategy version, which is kind of like synchro spamish kind of variant, which kind of just spams out a bunch of synchros and everything. So there's that. But yeah, personally though, I kind of like the A counter version because I feel it's more fun to me anyway. So let's get on to their staples. We'll start off with the monsters first. So the first staple monster you're going to run at 3 is Alien Ammonite. Alien Ammonite is great, so whenever it's normal summon, you can target a level 4 or lower alien monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and that's pretty much it. It's great due to the fact that it's pretty much a 1-card synchro, 1-card level 5, depending on if you're targeting a level 4, which most of the time you're going to want to target. Yeah, because you're gonna go into Golgar, so there is that. But yeah, just a great overall tuner, great combo starter, and just can get into so many plays for you. You can also tribute it off for Linker, but if you really wanted to. But most of the time, it's a 1-card synchro, and you're gonna pretty much want to see this at 3. Pretty much in any build, you're gonna pretty much in any build, you're gonna have for this deck. So yeah. And next staple would have to be Alien Dog. Alien Dog is great board spam in a way. So pretty much with this, whenever an alien monster is summoned, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then you pretty much place 2 A counters on the field in any one you like. So it's great for A counter spreading, and it's just a great like I said, board spammy kind of card. It gets a free body on the board for link material and or synchro material off of Ammonite. So all around a great card. I feel like 2 or 3 of these guys would be perfect, but I think 2 is probably a good number for this. And then the next one would have to be Alien Shock Trooper. Alien Shock Trooper is just a vanilla 1900 attack beat stick. You're mostly going to be using this in tandem with Rescue Rabbit, which is another staple for this deck, because State Rescue Rabbit is pretty much the best way of getting this guy out fast. And yeah, Shock Trooper though, it's mostly going to be used for extra fodder, overlaying both of these for a King of the Pharaohs, for example, or maybe using this for Link Spider as a free Link 1. So yeah, there's a lot of versatility in this. You can also use it as a beat stick, as 1900 beat stick if you really wanted to. So yeah, just a great card. 3 of these is perfect with 3 at Rescue Rabbit, or you can go 3 Rescue Rabbit and 2 Shock Trooper, whatever floats your boat, but you're going to want to have Shock Trooper in any alien bird you have. Next, it would have to be Alien Warrior. Alien Warrior is a kind of an older card, but it's still a really good staple for the deck, because whenever it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can put 2 A counters on the monster that destroyed it, and then they have the stat reduction, which is nice. So great way, again, getting out some A counters and just, kind of a way to punish your opponent for killing it. So, and next would have to be Alien Kid. Alien Kid is kind of a newer, I feel, staple for the deck, just because of how the game has gone over the years. Because whenever it's when you summon it to the field, you place A counters on all special summon monsters your opponent controls. So it's great. Just because how the game is nowadays, a lot of people special summon pretty much everything special summons nowadays. So pretty much you're gonna could have the potential of spreading a whole board full of A counters. So yeah, I see no downsides with this. It's a great addition to the deck, a great option for the deck if you want to like get a bunch of A counters out. So I feel 2 or 3 of these would be great. For any alien deck, except for maybe the synchro version, which isn't really about A counters at all, but more so for the A counter version because that's what they want, spread a bunch of A counters. So yeah. And Alien Overlord is another great card for the deck. Alien Overlord is kind of like a mini boss monster, I would say, for the deck, just because of the fact of it's pretty easy to summon. You just have to remove 2 A counters on anywhere on the field, special summon them, and then you can place a counter on a face-up monster your opponent controls. And it's kind of a 2200 beat stick, so that's really nice. Overall, I just really like it. It's just kind of like a, again, mini boss monster for the deck, and I just feel it's a pretty good option for it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for all the staple monsters. Let's go into the staple spells and traps. A-Cell Recombination Device is probably the first one that comes to my mind. Pretty much with this, it's kind of a newer card for the deck. It came out in Mage of Vengeance. So basically with this, target a face-up monster in the field, you send an alien monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then you give that monster A counters up to the number of pretty much by the monster's level you sent. So let's say you sent an alien warrior to the graveyard, you give that monster for A counters. It's really good also because it kind of combos well with Alien Ammonite. So again, send the warrior, then you normal summon the Alien Ammonite, target the warrior, special, go into a quick synchro. So really good in combination with that. Just, pretty solid. And it also has this other effect, which pretty much makes it the sole reason why it's a staple. Pretty much during the next main phase after it was sent to the graveyard, you can search an alien monster from deck to hand, just any alien monster. So it's great. I know it's a little bit slow, which is kind of the thing that pisses me off a bit. But regardless, it's a search card, and it's pretty much better than nothing, I feel. So. And you're kind of a control deck anyway, so it probably shouldn't be that big of a deal. But yeah, it's just anything that's if it's a search card, you're gonna run under 3 of it. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory when you want to run it. Next one is Code Ancient Ruins. Code Ancient Ruins is pretty much kind of like a pseudo Monster Reborn for the deck. Pretty much with this, each time alien monster is destroyed, place an A counter on itself, and then you can remove 2 A counters from it, and then special summon an alien monster from your graveyard. So kind of like I said, pseudo Monster Reborn. Great recovery for the deck, and yes, it can be a little slow, but honestly, the fact that you can remove 8 counters anywhere on the field kind of makes it a little bit better, because let's say you had Kid on the board, place this down, remove 2, special summon something from the graveyard. So yeah, pretty good. Next would be Mysterious Triangle. With this, you can destroy a monster in the field with an A counter, and then special a level 4 or lower, I believe, alien monster from your deck. So again, great way of spamming the board with monsters and aliens in general, and just furthering your plays, which is pretty much the main thing you want to do. That's it pretty much for the spells. Now onto their traps. Planet Pollutant Virus. This is pretty hilarious. Basically with this, you trigger an alien monster and destroy face-up monsters on the field that have no A counters on it. And then for 3 turns, when any monster that they summon gets an A counter. So that's pretty hilarious. Kind of like a board nuke at first if you have no A counters on the board, and then just like every time they summon something, they get an A counter. It's just great. Kind of ratio wise, you could I'd say 2 is fine. Maybe you could bump it to 3, but other than that, it's a great card for this deck, and just hilarious when it goes off. And then the last staple for this deck would have to be Brainwashing Beam. Brainwashing Beam is kind of like a mind control for the deck, and just a great way of fucking over the opponent and just stealing your shit to use as link material or just synchro material. It's just great. Run it. It's amazing. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't run it. I wouldn't run it. So yeah. So that's it for the staples. So I'm going to go on to the techs now. Tech wise, you can go Alien Telepath. Alien Telepath is kind of like a pseudo MST. For the deck, it's not really great. In the fact that you're removing A counters to target target a spell trap in the field, destroy it. But if you want to have another name for the deck, Alien Telepath is nice just because, hey, it gets rid of back row in some way. Next we have the Alien Brain. Alien Brain's another kind of like a mind control-ish kind of card. Pretty much with this, you can snatch a monster and make it reptile type. So that's kind of cute if you want. I mean, it's kind of hilarious if it's a level 4, so you flip this, take it, have a level 4 reptile, and then overlay this and, like, say Shock Chopper and King the Fairlimps. It'd be hilarious just for that reason, but but it's always an option if you want to have another, like, a way of mind controlling. But I feel like Brainwashing Beam is kind of like doing that job for you anyway. So next one's another monster for tech for this deck. Would have to be Kage. Kage pretty much is another monster for board spam. Whenever you normal summon a level 4 monster, you special summon it. So great way for Xyz material and also just other link material. Now the problem is you can't use it for synchro material, so you can't, like, you know, go like use Ammonite in this to go into level 5. You can't do that, but mostly it's here for Xyz and link material. And then the last one had to be Dangerous Snack. This is kind of like a thing for me, a tech that I think would be kind of cool, just because it's a reptile. And also, it's a level 3, so this, in combination with Dog, could get you some access into the rank 3 pool a little bit. It's totally optional, but I feel, out of all the dangers, this one is pretty much the best for this kind of deck, just because it's Reptile and it's level 3, so you can kind of, like, work with this with Dog to go into, like, rank 3 plays and everything like that, so, yeah. Next, so that's it for text. Now onto engines. Engine-wise, there's not really a lot for Aliens. It's kind of like, their own little thing. You don't really want to run any engines with them. I mean, you could make the argument, what about the Brilliant engine because they're Earth and Light? So you could do that, the Brilliant engine, but the fact that Brilliant Fusion is at 1 kind of wrecks that whole idea. But if you want to try that out, that's perfectly fine by me. So yeah, other than that, let's get on to the extra deck options. First one had to be the Cosmic Fortress Golgar. Golgar is the most well-known alien synchro monster, pretty much, and it's just I think that's the only one anyway. So, yeah, pretty much with this, it's amazing. Once per turn, you can select any number of face-up spell or traps in the field, return them to the hand, and then you distribute 8 counters for every one you return back, I believe. So that's great. So if you see the fact that you have like Ancient Ruins as a continuous, and just like Brainwashing Beam as a continuous as well, you can like bounce them back. Then you just distribute 8 counters, which is great. And then you can like remove 2 8 counters anywhere in the field, destroy a card your opponent controls. Now it does target because it was made before PSET, so PSET does make it so where this does target, so it doesn't just. It's not non-targeting destroy. No, it is a targeting destroy. So just keep that in mind. So you can't just destroy Dark Destroyer out of nowhere. So sadly that can't happen. But it is a targeting effect because it was after PSET they did a rule that this does target. So there is that, just pointing it out. Other than that though, it's a great card. Great, like pretty much like puts a bow on the whole strategy, and just just a card that this deck really needs to pretty much get off the ground or just achieve their win condition. And another monster, this one's an Xyz monster, King the Fairlimps. I mentioned him a few times in this video. He's great because he just searches reptiles and just pretty much works well with Shock Trooper, so you just like overlay them both into this, get a quick search off. It's really nice for the deck just because they don't have to rely on Recombination Device as their sole thing to search. And then, I know this isn't out yet, but the alien-like monster, when it does come out, here's a picture of him right here. He's really good because he can distribute 8 counters on the board, and, yeah, just combo off great. And he's kind of like a mini soul charge as well, because he can, pretty much just bring a bunch of alien monsters back, I think, when he dies. So, he's really good. Don't know when he comes out yet, though, but I know for a fact when he does come out, this thing is going to be like a 2 or 3 of in the extra deck, because of just how good he is for this archetype. And then lastly, just some generic synchros and Xyz and links. You can go into pretty much anything. Pretty much what that is, a generic synchro and link monster or Xyz monster for this deck. So just pretty much after the Golgar and King of the Fairlimps, the extra deck is pretty much wide open from there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck guide. hope you guys enjoyed it. I think aliens are a really fun archetype, and I know they're old, but they are pretty fun to play if when you ever get the time to build it. And yeah, I'm excited to see when the Link monster comes out, how the deck goes, and what happens with it, and see how it adapts moving forward in the game. And I'm hoping it does get some more support in the future as well, because it's a really fun archetype that I feel needs some modern game needs a modern game needs more like modern game love, if you know what I mean. So but yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. What do you guys think of aliens? Leave it down in the comment section below what you guys think of them. And also, did I miss anything in this deck guide? Is there any cards that that I forgot to mention? Leave it down in the comment section below as well, so I can learn more about the deck as well. But yeah, I hope this all helped you if you guys wanted to build aliens at all, or just were curious about the deck in general. So well, yeah, like I said a few times already, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, definitely subscribe. I should see you guys next video. Have a nice day.